What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to YGOPD, your Yu-Gi-Oh! Professional Development, and today I have a post-ban list Invoked Dogmatika Hero deck profile, or DPE, to showcase on the channel. I decided to wait the 24 hours to drop this officially when the new ban list is in effect as of today, February 7th, 2022. And before I hop into it, we're going to go ahead and give a quick sub shout out to Matia. Thank you so much for joining the channel. I hope I'm saying that right. Excited to see you here and for you to stick around. Last quick announcement before we hop into it. The first episode of YGOPD, your Yu-Gi-Oh! Professional Development, is out. First episode covers the side deck. So if you're looking for a way to improve your side deck, go ahead and check out that video. Link is in the description. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. All right, we'll go ahead and hop into the deck profile. We're going to do it by card rolls just because that makes things a little bit easier for this deck in particular. We will begin with our starters. Starters are cards that can create or complete a line of play on their own that ends on a threat, which is just a fancy way of saying a negate or a disruption. Starting off, we have 3 Alistair the Invoker. This guy gets us to our Makaba, which is at best an Omni negate and at worst a monster negate. 3 Magical Meltdown, which do the exact same thing by getting us to Alistair, and then by extension we get to Makaba as well. Terraforming, which gets us to Makaba through Alistair. Same thing with Light Stage, or sorry, Set Rotation to then also get us Light Stage. We do change the deck up a little bit here to compensate for some missing starters in place of Fusion Destiny and Deer Servant. We do play Trickstar Candina now in the deck. That makes both Light Stage now a starter as well, since that a Trickstar Corbane is a 1-card Verte Anaconda, which is the disruption in the form of your DPE. Moving on with our starters, we do play the 1 Trickstar Candina. Shout out to my local stores and my friends for not having this. I swear I would have found one, but I guess not. So it is just chilling here for now. But with the magical power of editing, you're not going to really be able to tell a big difference. So moving on, we have Triple Ecclesia. This is our punishment. That is our piece of disruption here. It is either a pop 2 or a pop 1 with a follow-up in the form of something like Titaniclad or Predaplant Chimera Rafflesia. Moving on with our starters, we continue with 2 Fusion Destiny. Nothing much to say about there. DPE with a follow-up of Draw 2 down the line. And then lastly, we have our 2 Nadir Servant. This is basically an Ecclesia, or it is a 1-card app clone with a follow-up searching you a Fusion Destiny, which is really, really powerful. That gets you to Winda. So it's the Winda lock plus DPE on the following turn. And then the last of our starters is Pot of Prosperity. I just put this in here as a starter, and if you've seen some of my other profiles, you know I like keeping this here as a starter just because you're going to see the math right here on screen. We have 20 starters here total in a 40-card deck, so not counting Prosperity, we have 17 starters remaining. You have such a high chance of seeing one of those starters that off of that 6 cards or even those 3 cards that it's guaranteed, and there's no reason not to put it in this category at this point. So that's our starters there. We have 20 of those. And then the other important piece here are our 3 superior extenders that we play in addition to that, which is just 1 Trickstar Corbane, 1 Magician Souls, and 1 Instant Fusion. These 3 cards were selected because I wanted cards that if you have nothing on the field, that they can be used immediately. There's no setup required or anything like that. You can just draw them and then use them. The reason that matters is because we have 23 usable cards total in terms of combining our starters with our superior extenders, which then translates to over a 90% chance of seeing at least 2 of this category in these 23 cards here. So it's either 2 starters, a starter in one of these, but that was the biggest thing that we really needed to get to, was what are our guaranteed chances of always seeing something live no matter what, and that was getting to that 23 magic number here. And these 3 cards let you do this. And if you're looking for just different replacements to try, you can try out more souls, things like that. I wanted some variety, in particular when hitting that 23, so Trickstar Candina helped make up for that lack of starter by getting itself, and then Light Stage to become a starter to make Anaconda. And then we just have our superior extenders here with souls and Instant Fusion and Trickstar Corbane that can obviously pair really well with our starters in the form of Alistair to still get to Anaconda and protect us while we do that. So that is it for our superior extenders. Here are our additional extenders. They require a little bit of setup, but still nonetheless are very powerful extenders, but again, just can't always be used the moment you draw them. That is our Fleur and our Maximus here. Pretty much self-explanatory, not much to say about them. And then moving on, we have our bombs, so cards that do require a very significant amount of setup, but are very big blowouts that can help you win the game pretty much guaranteed. So that is our Schism, obviously, to get to Winda, and then our 2 Invocation. That just translates into something for any situation, whether you're going first to make a negate, or going second to kind of break boards through something like Algides or Invoked Purgatrio. After that, we have our defensive cards. So everything that's either going to let you play the game through what your opponent has, or prevent your opponent from doing stuff in the first place. So that starts off with triple Forbidden Droplet, 3 triple Tactic Talents, 3 there can be only 1 extremely powerful card as we switch into the new format, with Eldritch becoming a very more powerful deck here to just kind of turn off their spells and traps, since they can only have 1 zombie at a time on the board. And then last is our 1 of Dogmatika Punishment for the remainder of our defensive cards. And the last are our bricks, or our engine requirements cards that we never want to see and will never get better as the game goes on, is just of course the 1 Dasher and the 1 Celestial. So that is the main deck, wrapping it up at a clean 40. We will go ahead and hop into the extra and do it in a few sections. We'll start off with the cards related for links for the Invoked engine. We have 1 Almirage, 1 Secure Gardener, and 1 Artemis. I prefer to play all of these. You can play less, but I just like the ability to always make sure Maximus is live, or if you draw a couple Ecclesia, 1 can be used as an extender to link off and then special the other. It just gives you enough flexibility and versatility to kind of do exactly what you need, especially with now playing cards like Magician Souls in the deck, and Instant Fusion. Artemis becomes that much more important. And then in terms of our Invoked Fusions, we have 1 Makaba, 1 Purgatrio, and 1 Algides. You can play whichever ones you want. These are my preferred. Makaba's obviously our negate. Algides is a good card to wrap up games closing out, and a good piece of defense to pop special summon monsters. And as long as Sword Soul is in the format, I will always have Purgatrio here. It's just an easy win against Sword Soul. Since Blackout has to pop 2 cards exactly, you can put Purgatrio by itself on the board, attack over everything, and then you're good to go. After that, we have our standard package of our 1 Anaconda and 1 Destroy Phoenix Enforcer. Not much to say about that. Free pop every turn, plus a draw 2 down the line thanks to the bricks. For the Shadal package, very straightforward as well. We have 1 App Cologne, 1 Winda, and 1 Construct. And then wrapping things up here, we're just going to have a few punishment targets that we typically use. We have 1 Titaniclad, 1 Entis, and 1 Predaplant Chimera Rafflesia. I highly recommend playing this if you've never played it before. If it's dumped to the grave during the next standby phase, you can add either a fusion or polymerization card from deck to hand. So this can search Super Poly if you want to go that route and have some crazy follow-up. Or it can just get you things like Fusion Destiny, Red Eyes Fusion, whatever you're playing. Even Instant Fusion in this deck as a good extender or follow-up. So you just have the choice to kind of mess around with whatever you want there. And then the last card is Millennium Eyes Restrict, our primary instant fusion target. So that is it for the deck profile. Thank you all so much for watching. I will have some crazy stuff coming out here next week or so with a deck profile related to both the ban list changes and the new Battles of Chaos support that has just been released. But with that said, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Later.